Hey everyone, today we're checking out the Zoupw 450W foldable solar panel. And I'm putting it to the test with my ALLPOWERS R1500 power station. I hooked everything up, ran my usual real-world test with a solar meter, and got a maximum reading of 557.5 watts, which is actually above the rated output. In this review, I'll walk you through how it performed, how it pairs with the R1500, what I personally liked and didn't, and also why having a solar setup like this one is one of the smartest things you can do if you spend time off-grid, camp often, or just want backup power at home. Let's start with the build. The Zoupw 450W panel uses N-type monocrystalline cells with a 16 bus bar layout, which helps with both efficiency and longevity. You can tell right away it's not a cheap panel. It has that solid premium feel. The hinges feel durable, the kickstands are strong, and the surface has an ETFE coating, which not only gives it a nice texture, but also protects against UV damage and wear. It's also IP68 waterproof, so it can handle dust and rain without issues. And I have also tested that out. It does have a bit of heft, around 26 pounds, but considering it holds up nicely and delivers 450 watts of power, that's totally reasonable. And what's really nice too is the carrying bag has multiple options of weight and ways to carry it, so that also helps with that. For something portable, it strikes a nice balance between performance and practicality. Now onto performance, because this is where things got interesting. I set the panel up under full sun, angled it properly, and connected it to the ALLPOWERS R1500, which has a max solar input of around 600 watts. That makes it a really good choice and match for a 450 watt panel. Like this, you're not overdriving the input, but you're still getting strong performance. Using my solar meter, the highest reading I saw was 557.5 watts. That number surprised me because most foldable panels don't even reach their rated output in real-world conditions, let alone exceed it. Now, you won't hold that number all day. As the sun angle changes and temperatures rise, they'll settle more above or around 350 to 450 watts, but that's still excellent sustained performance for a portable panel. Before I get deeper into the numbers, I want to talk about why having a solar panel like this matters, especially when paired with something like the ALLPOWERS R1500. For me, it comes down to three things: independence, reliability, and savings. First, independence. Being able to generate your own power wherever you are, whether that's camping, in your RV, or even during an outage, just feels empowering. You don't need fuel, you don't make noise, and you don't release any fumes. It's just clean, silent power that works whenever the sun's out. Second, reliability. The R1500 can recharge from solar while you're using it, which means you can keep your fridge, lights, or fans running continuously without worrying about running out of juice. That's huge for off-grid trips or backup power at home. And third, and in my opinion the most important, long-term savings. Once you've bought your solar gear, the sun is free. Every watt hour you generate is one less you have to pay for. And panels like this can last 20 plus years with minimal care. So even if you're not off-grid, having a solar just makes sense. It's one of those things you buy once and keep benefiting from for years. Now let's talk about where the setup really shines. If you're into van life or RV travel, this panel is perfect. It folds down compactly, it's weather resistant, and can recharge a big power station like the R1500 in just a few hours of strong sun. I was able to charge up my R1500 on a relatively cloudy day in about 3.5 hours, which was really good. So let alone what it would have been like if I had been able to test it out within full sun. So if you're more into camping or emergency prep, same deal. It's powerful enough to run your essentials without dragging out a generator. And generators are really loud and they can disturb your neighbors. They can disturb your camping time because all you're hearing is a generator when you kind of just want to hear the birds and just like everything around you in nature. So having that silence of having a solar panel and a power station is just priceless in my opinion. And for off-grid builds like tiny homes, backyard offices, or sheds, the Zoupw 450W gives you a lot of usable energy without needing a permanent install. It's also just a good match for the R1500 specifically because the voltage range lines up well. Get efficient charging without hitting the upper voltage limit or wasting potential power. Okay, let's do pros and cons now. Here's a quick breakdown after testing. So the pros: great real-world performance, 557 watts peak is awesome. I was very impressed by that. It pairs perfectly with mid-sized power stations like the R1500 ALLPOWERS. high efficiency N-type cells with solid ETFE protection, waterproof, durable, and folds up nicely, which is really handy. It is super easy to set up and fold back up. And then it includes multiple connector types, so you can use it with almost any setup. And again, these multiple connector types is a really handy thing. And one of my favorite parts about having the solar panel is that they come with the connectors in the first place, because a lot of other brands of solar panels do not come with connector types, so let alone multiple connector types. But here are the cons. It's on the heavier side for a foldable panel, needs good sunlight and a bit of setup time to hit peak numbers, but that's still okay. It's not that hard to do that. As with all folding panels, long-term durability depends on how you handle it. Be gentle when packing and unfolding, and then you're good to go. So my final thoughts. I'm genuinely impressed with the Zoupw 450W solar panel, especially for the price. The fact that I hit over 550 watts shows it's capable of more than what's on the spec sheet. It worked perfectly with my ALLPOWERS R1500, charged quickly, and didn't give me any trouble at all. For RVers, campers, or anyone wanting reliable off-grid power, this is a really solid panel to consider.